On a bright sunny afternoon, a 16-year-old girl was heading home from school when suddenly a luxury car appeared out of nowhere, filled with second-generation officials. Instantly, the passengers were electrified, staring at her as the car blocked her like a brick wall. The bright conference room turned into a girl's mysterious trial, with second-generation officials parting while Kwang-il stood by, observing. She didn't know why they tormented her, mentioning her brother, a judo champion, as if to impress them. However, they surprisingly pulled out a photo of her brother's corpse, leaving her so devastated she almost wanted to close her eyes and reset. At this moment, Kwang-il arrived in a translucent feather robe. Lackeys retreated like Quill as he marveled at the scene. She listened intently to the girl's wails, as if attending a world music concert. For Kin, this scene was the epitome of beauty. The girl's desperate gaze was cinematic. At that moment, Kin approached her slowly, as if adding color to a famous painting. As Kin increased the pencil's pressure, the girl struggled helplessly, like in a reality show, but Kin seemed completely unfazed. When blood flowed, relief washed over Kin's face, like a child completing a puzzle. Not long after, North Korean security received a report. Old Lai and his team arrived to find a family of 4 dead, overnight, like a tragedy. The room was splattered with blood, even the 4-year-old couldn't escape. Old Lai picked up a family photo from the ground. The photo showed 5 people. These were all the girl's family members. Old Lai found bullet holes in the bodies and couldn't sit still. Everyone knows that in North Korea, firearms are a rare species. Those who wield guns are certainly not ordinary folks. However, his subordinates fell silent before Old Lai, so he immediately reported the situation to the director. Surprised, the director, smoked and said it wasn't Old Lai's concern, then tossed a transfer order out of the security department. Old Lai burned with anger as he handed over his badge and gun, but he had no intention of letting those scoundrels go. No one expected a similar case in South Korea 3 years later, with females again as the unfortunate leads. They endured inhumane torment, died of arterial injuries. The media frenzy left South Korean women on edge. Unluckily, the case officer Kim Jin-ding retired in his car, prompting the director to summon Choi Yi-do. Choi Yi-do was known as the trouble magnet of the police station, an excellent problem solver, but equally good at causing trouble. The director hoped he could take on this hot potato. The only request was to keep things under control. Old Choi cracked his knuckles, ready for a legal showdown. The latest buzz from the coroner's office: they extracted DNA from the victim that didn't belong to her. This DNA was like an unseen gorilla. Old Choi jumped into Operation Manhunt, locking onto the target, but just as he was about to make an arrest, the prosecutor had to warn this suspect, Kwang-il, was a big shot from North Korea. He warned Choi to tread carefully, otherwise he might end up retiring like the fallen officer. As they prepared to act, NIS agents had already staked out, led by Deputy Director Old Jang like Raymond. Old Choi told Old Jang Kwang-il was a serial killer suspect and needed police's friendly questioning. Tension flared between police and agents like a dance-off until Old Choi produced the arrest warrant. Why did the NIS want Kin? He was close to General Zhang, North Korea's second-in-command. General Zhang had been managing secret funds for his father, making Kin a bona fide prince. Due to partisan struggles, the second-in-command and his father got caught up in a scandal, and to save his son, his father sent Kin away with the cash. The Americans first learned of Kin's abuse of women, so they sent their special forces to bring him to South Korea via NIS. Now that Kin was taken by the police, if the case went public, the NIS would have to cut ties with him, so they immediately dispatched a lawyer. The lawyer brought a ton of alibis for Kin's defense, while Kin remained as cool as a cucumber in the interrogation room. A calm smile adorned his face as he loved gardening, giving eggplants and cucumbers to neighbors. As for whether the neighbors ate or used them, Kin claimed he wasn't sure. The lawyer presented Kin's alibi for the time of the incident. Though their responses seemed flawless, Old Choi detected a clue. What's up with your DNA showing up? Did it come from home? How did you get to your house? How did you get the photos ready? There are still 42 hours left on the arrest warrant. Old Choi must debunk Kin's alibi in 42 hours, despite seized critical footage by the agency. Nevertheless, he insisted that his men retrieve even the public's dashcam footage for comparison, leading to tireless hours of video surveillance. The officers stayed at their computers during meals and breaks, unaware they were watched by intelligence, capturing Old Choi's office 2 in 360-degree views. Besides, crucial evidence was Kin's lackey's disappearance before his arrest, a treasure for the intelligence agency. Meanwhile, in a warehouse, the two missing lackeys were under the special care of a man in black. One was crushed to death with a sledgehammer. At that moment, they finally understood the importance of kneeling and begging for mercy. Before long, the man in black tossed the last living lackey onto the road, and the intelligence agency snatched him up immediately. After a grueling day and night, the police finally spotted Kin in the dashcam footage, setting the stage for Old Choi's counterattack. Yet, at this moment, even as evidence piled up, Kin remained unfazed. Just when everyone thought they had the upper hand, the intelligence agency escorted that surviving lackey in to confess. It turned out that not long ago, Ol Zhang had been dispatched by the Blue House to protect the director. As the situation escalated to a national incident, Kin was no ordinary. Faced with such a hot potato, the director had passed the responsibility to Ol Zhang, attempting to transfer this hot pot to the grassroots level. Subscribe prompt. Like our content. Subscribe for more exciting stories.